we finally get Bounties! No, not the Straw Hats. Big news, Morgan drops more fake news, reporting that after awakening from their 100-year slumber, the giant warrior pirates have allied with the Yonko Straw Hat Luffy and attacked Egghead. Both Dory and Broggy, sharing the title of captain, received a bounty of 1.8 billion berries each. I know that these guys are legends, and the 100-year gap inflation is also a consideration, but that's already way more than Zoro's. However, we still have yet to receive the Straw Hats updated bounty. Let's not forget Zoro punked Lucci and stood up against the freaking Gorosei, likewise with Sanji. But most importantly, Luffy's bounty at this point needs to be over 5 billion. He beat down an admiral, slapped up 2 Gorosei, and got away from the Buster Call. Also, if he is being blamed for Vegapunk's supposed death, it won't make any sense for his bounty to remain the same. There's no way he's not more dangerous than Shanks to the world government, especially after the embodiment of Joy Boy and having the sun god Nika fruit. Emu was also forced to bend the knee and even replace a loyal and ancient subordinate in Saturn. 5 billion is a given. The only logical reason that might not happen is because Emu and the government doesn't want too much heat and attention on Luffy, hence why they were pissed when the picture of sun god Nika Luffy was mass printed with his 3 billion berry bounty. It's pretty obvious that Morgan is playing with fire. He's trying to provoke the government by showing these images, all while still printing news that keeps the government's name clean. Remember, he knows about Emu through Wapol, which is why he purposely shared a picture of Nika Luffy again whilst lying that he killed Vegapunk. Morgan's big brain play to make Luffy infamous is for a grand plan. He knows that the government will try to hide the idea of sun god Nika under the rug, but if Luffy becomes the biggest public menace, the government will be forced to address and give him attention. The whole world will be looking at their response, much like when Ace was executed. The government is also currently on thin ice, where even within, factions will be forming. Leaving aside swords, the vice admirals present in Egghead now knows the truth, and obviously Saturn's actions didn't really help. Regardless, Robin catches something surprising on the picture of Luffy. This image on the newspaper shows him having an X on his arm, something which isn't normally present when he transforms into Gear 5. However, Robin vaguely remembers where this is from. Unlike the others on the ship, from Jinbei to Frankie and even Brooke, none of them saw this before, whereas Robin had. It was quite a while back, but it's so iconic, and if you don't know what it is, then you're not really watching One Piece. This mark was added by the gang during Arabasta so they could tell each other apart if Bon Clay, who was a bad guy at that time, tried to impersonate them. This of course would end up setting the touching scene where they showed that no matter the time or distance, Vivi would always be part of the Straw Hats. Robin notes that unlike the picture, which is blurry, this X is not, meaning the only other person who knows about this X in Vivi is sending a message and is currently safe and sound with Morgan. Throughout this, Robin is mostly ignored by the giants as they realize that Luffy and Shanks are now on equal standing, whilst even one of their younglings is part of Luffy's fleet. In a way, this is Oda telling us that Luffy is getting one step closer to fulfilling the promise he made to Shanks. However, we ain't done, as these giants just dropped a bombshell of a bombshell that Hyrule is still a son of the king.
What?
Yep, he is a prince and the older brother of Loki himself. This revelation is actually huge as it confirms the theory that Hyrule is actually based off Odin from the Norse mythology. And unlike the Marvel universe, Loki was never the son of Odin but his brother instead, which fits into this perfectly. To add to this, just like his Norse counterpart, Odin always was tagged along with a raven, and we know that Hyrule's subordinate Road has a raven or crow crow named Mugen. Moreover, Hydreiden's name, which consists of Odin, sounds very similar to Odin, and in Dressrosa we even see him use a move Gungnir, which is the name of the original Odin spear. All of this goes to show that Hydreiden might just be the next rightful king of Elbaf, and in turn placed under the protection of the Yonko Luffy. My boy's collecting territories like it's some Pokemon cards. In fact, Hydreiden had such respect, he wanted to join the giant warrior pirates in fetching the Straw Hats from Egghead Island, but sadly he had to stay behind because of the troubles in Elbaf lately, so only the seniors could go. The giants explained that whilst Dory and Broggy were absent, Loki did an unspeakable act which threw Elbaf into chaos. He killed his own father, King Harold. Why? Well, for a devil fruit. To be fair, it's not just any ordinary one, it's a legendary one. This power is usually passed down in the royal family. Considering Hydreiden is the older one, he would have likely gotten it. So, you can't really blame Loki, I guess.
I beg your pardon?
Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check this out next.